the slide will show, but I had a grandma. She was a very vibrant woman. She was always active in her old age. And then one day something happened. She just fell, and then she couldn't walk again. She had a stroke. We lived with her, so we had to, some had to give up jobs because we are a middle-income family. We had to give up jobs to take care of her because she couldn't move, and she was quite big. So we had to move her in and out day and night, take care of her. And then we did that till the year she died. It lasted about a year, and then in 2012, she died. So with this, I developed a passion into going into assistive technology, right? So that is where my passion grew from. And then when I grew up, I realized that my grandma wasn't alone. According to World Health Organization, there are 7 billion people with disabilities around the world. And out of that, 75 million need wheelchairs on a daily basis. And thinking that we are in a developing country, it is very hard to access some of these things. Okay. And then, the next slide. Okay. So, and if you go, if you are looking at the market, right, an electric wheelchair costs about $1,500 to $5,000. And in Ghana, the minimum wage a person lives under is 8 cedis a day, which becomes impossible for the person to afford a wheelchair, an electric wheelchair. And with that, the dependency grows day by day. If your sibling or your grandmom has a disability, you have to end up taking care of her because you can either afford a manual wheelchair or nothing at all. So my team and I came up with a goal, and our goal was to provide a hybrid wheelchair. That was a wheelchair that could run on electricity and also manually. And then also, our goal was also to make the wheelchair low cost and source materials from Ghana. Okay, so, yeah. So I will also want to talk about our journey. Can you go to that slide? So it all started one day when my teammate and I, particularly Barnabas, we paid a visit to the nurse at the First Aid Center. And then whilst we were talking to her, we noticed a wheelchair at the corner. And then whilst we were interacting with her, we were like, oh, this is a wheelchair for emergency situations, right? And then we were like, so if there's an emergency situation, there has to be someone who has to push the person all the way to, like, maybe from the class. They'll have to push the car all to the class and then back to the First Aid Center. And then from there, we realized that there was actually a need for us to build electric wheelchairs. So it started there. So this is us with Barnabas trying the wheelchair in the first aid room. And then what we did next was we went to Agbogloshi. First of all, it wasn't intentionally for us to get the wheelchair. We just went there for a class project. And then we saw a wheelchair that belonged to the scraps, and it was about to be melted to steel. So we thought, why not buy this wheelchair from the scrap market? So we got it. And we got it for an affordable price, which is 80 cedis. So, and then we came back. And then later, Barnabas was roaming around town, and he saw hoverboards, old hoverboards lying around. And then he got one. And then he came and he told the team, what if we harvest the hub motors out of these to power the wheelchair? So we actually also got a hoverboard motor. And then we came back to the workshop. Yeah, I don't like smiling when I'm working. So we came back to the workshop. We disassembled everything. We got the hub motors. We drilled holes in it. We built spokes all together. And then we put in the hub motors into the wheelchair to actually make it run on electricity. So this is where we are just now. This was yesterday at 3 a.m. when we finally assembled all the parts of the motor. So I can tell you that we are done with the mechanical design, and now we are at the controls part. So this is us and our electric vehicle. And then with producing it, we realized that the total cost and it was self-funded with some other people funding us. And then the total cost was $191.74. And that is an equivalence of 1,100 cedis, which means that if we actually start building these in Ghana, we could actually sell it at a more affordable price where the average Ghanaian disabled person can afford. So this is it. And then with our future modifications, we also thought of adding an LCD display. And then we realized that we couldn't get lithium batteries, the small compact batteries here. So we had to make do of the bigger ones, which added much more weight to the wheelchair. So for the future modification, we thought about adding those small compact batteries to make our wheelchair lighter. And then moving on, what we would need is we will need more procurement service in getting some of the batteries, some of the electronic components, and then we'll also need this PCB manufacturing service where we can manufacture our electrical circuits. And then we'll have to get help on shipping and freight services, because you know Ghana, when you order some things from abroad, it's actually expensive trying to clear those things. And then finally, we'll want to have partnership with hospitals and health facilities so that we can get an opportunity to sell our product to them. Okay. And then in conclusion, what my team desires to do is that we want to make sure that mobility is not just luxury. Mobility should be a necessity for all disabled people. And all grandmothers and children who are suffering from disabilities shouldn't be burdens onto their family. People shouldn't give up jobs just to take care of them, but they should be able to make do and go around and just have anything they want to do. So that is it. And then after, I want to introduce my team. So this is me, Andrula, I'm the project lead. Then we have Barnabas, who is in charge of project design, and then electronics and electrical controls. We also have MFA, who is a first-year student, and she is in charge of the mechanical design. And also Farouk, who is also in charge of the design, mechanical engineering level 200. And then I'll end by giving acknowledgement to Mr. Edward Daniels and Uni Sisabwaji. They helped us, they gave us some funds in starting the business. And then Abu Karim and Dominic were key in helping us fabricate our parts. And then finally, I have to give thanks to Melissa. She was helpful in all the process. So thank you.